Paolo Banchero is unbelievably talented. Imagine Blake Griffin and Carmelo Anthony morphed into one player. That's Paolo Banchero simply put. You may call it an overreaction, but Paolo Banchero is one of the most polarizing players I've seen come into the league in the last 5 years. He has everything you could ever ask for in a primary ball handler in the positionless basketball era of the modern NBA. He packages all of the skills and mannerisms of Carmelo Anthony, one of the most ferocious playstyles to come out in the last few years. He's really big and strong, obviously. He's also instinctive in terms of how he can get to his spot on the court. He's extremely light on his feet, making it easy to get by slower defenders guarding him, but it's the way he finishes every play with a sort of veteran-like presence, making sure every defender feels him at the end of every sequence. He also shares the exact same traits that make all those superstar players before him so great. LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, they all share one important thing in common, more important than any physical attribute could ever amount for: a jump shot. If I've learned anything over the last 15 years or so, it's that if you want to stick around and be that number one option willing your team to victory night in and night out, the element of shooting is going to be needed in your game. And as you may know, the average player is far more offensively talented than they were 15 or 10 years ago. 15 years ago, the thought of multiple big men stepping out past the 15-foot mark and knocking down threes and playing iso ball would leave some dumbfounded. However, this is an every game occurrence now. Some players have the unique ability of doing it, and most don't. Paolo Banchero is one of the genetic freaks that can score it at all levels. Paolo's at the top of the key and is deciding whether or not he should stay put and look to set the screen for his guard or roll to the wing and shoot the ball. The guard drives and immediately is swarmed with bodies around him. Paolo sees that and rolls to the corner and knocks down the three. But notice how his late release and natural fading shot allows him to create more space between him and the defender, making the shot virtually impossible to block. But this is where things get a bit absurd. Paolo's at the top of the key again and is reading what the defense is trying to put out. His point guard runs to set a fake screen to create more space for Paolo to potentially drive, but he doesn't. He simply drives to the right and pulls the ball back out to give the defender the notion he's going to drive and try to take a finish at the rim. But Paolo had another move in mind. Paolo gives the defender one swift head fake and quickly steps back, immediately rising up into a three-pointer, giving his man no time to react or recover. Paolo has his back to his defender and is trying to catch the ball down low in the post. His guard sees this and immediately passes it. After receiving the ball, Paolo feels the defender's momentum slightly leaning too far forward, so without hesitation, Paolo doesn't try any fancy head fakes or ball fakes. He quickly spins left and beats his defender to the rim and punches it home in bully ball fashion. Looking at the total package that is Paolo Banchero, you can make a legit argument he's the most captivating rookie to come into the NBA in the last 5 years, like I've said before. He's faster and more fluid than Zion Williamson and Jabari Smith, and he's a lot stronger than Evan Mobley. Those players aren't bad, but they don't possess the majestic-like intangibles like Paolo. Watching him in the 2 short game span we've seen him in, it's almost impossible not to see the carbon copy of LeBron James or Carmelo Anthony. The quickness, the strength, the ability to constantly find the weakness in the defense, it all blends together perfectly. And in my opinion, already makes him a top 30 player in the NBA. But for now, there's still a lot for him to prove, and I don't want to overreact too hard. So if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.